I thought the film was very interesting and absorbing. The characters express a lot of ambivalence about their feelings toward each other and their behaviors. They come from a place of, I don't know, there's substance abuse, there's a rift between two brothers, there's a person who's discovering his own bisexuality during the movie. There is an evolution in that person's thinking and behavior from the beginning to the end of the film. You know, it explores the dynamics of family relationships. Okay, I'm a clinical psychologist, I'm retired now. But I was fascinated by the idea that a gay character, the only person who really understood himself from the beginning to the end of the movie was the openly gay character. His brother, who prostitutes himself out to females, is on the surface enraged at his brother for being openly gay. At the same time, he exploits him financially, and he ignores his mother and his brother because he's allegedly or supposedly so angry about the brother's sexuality. By the end of the movie, though, he comes to some kind of rapprochement with the brother. He becomes more, expresses a softer attitude towards him, and recognizes that he's guilty of doing some horrible things within his family. And the other character who makes an evolution, who undergoes an evolution from the beginning to the end of the movie, is the straight character, or apparently straight character, who at the beginning establishes an accidental relationship with the gay character, and by the end of the movie is offering him a job and wanting to be there for him emotionally, while at the same time saying that he can't be there for him emotionally. So you see internal conflict in both the brother of the gay character and the person who is his straight friend, who actually turns out to be bisexual. I can only surmise what happened in that family. You don't really see much of them altogether. But I think what happened was that the gay son became his mother's caretaker and her greatest source of support. There's no indication that there was any rift between them based on his sexuality. And on the other hand, the other brother, who is heterosexual, becomes addicted and separates himself from the family and just kind of exploits and uses his brother and his mother. Feels guilty about it at the end. And then the guilt is expressed in a lot of anger and sorrow by the end of the movie. You can only imagine that there was quite a bit of turmoil before that brother separated himself from the home and struck out on his own and then descended into addiction. I think what goes on in people who are addicted is that anything goes. You have to do whatever you have to do to survive. They're both addicts. They both need each other to supply, I don't know, companionship for one thing, but they also need support for their addictions. And I'm really not sure how they got together, but you know, she's clearly very attractive, and he was attractive to her. But I think that he's selling out and he's doing a lot of things, criminal things, to support his habit. And she understands that he does that. They don't ask too many questions of each other. They don't reprimand each other too severely because they both know that you do whatever it takes to supply the means to fuel your addiction. I think a lot of people will recognize themselves in this film. I recognize myself in it. I could really feel the pain between the two brothers. You know, we've all been through these kind of emotional upheavals in our connections with other people. I certainly have. What I've seen is that people who are addicted have to make a very serious decision, and they have to recognize that their life is just going down the tubes before they do anything about it. They'll keep using, and they'll keep using other people, and they'll keep destroying their own opportunities until they get clean and sober. So I don't think that Michael had reached that level at the time, by the time the movie ended. I don't think he'd really gotten there. He was just expressing the turmoil that was inside based on, his addiction. Actually, fairly intuitive and warm person, impulsive, opportunistic, but makes mistakes because of her impulsivity. doesn't have the usual sense of decorum or restriction in social interactions. He just sort of plunges in and gets into people's, psychological underwear without any hesitation. I think that's not atypical of somebody who's just lived her life getting high and having these connections, these brief interludes with others.